Lakeland, Florida, it's the Jeff Adams Show. Starring Jeff Adams. Also starring co-host Nate Manners. The Jeff Adams Show is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/The Jeff Adams Show. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. GoDaddy.com. The Jeff Adams Show is brought to you by GoDaddy. They have everything you need to put your business online. Find new customers and get started. It's go time. Visit GoDaddy.com. Enter promo code Jeff20off and save on your new purchases. You can also get a .com domain for $2.95 or transfer a domain using promo Jeff295. Some limitations apply. See website for details. PodFund, the first crowdfunding platform for new media, has arrived. Raise money for your podcast, internet radio station, or video production. Go to podfund.com for more information. The FBA, the Florida Basketball Association. No egos, they play for passion with heart. Great basketball. Check thefba.com for local schedules. BitGravity, the exclusive HD provider of the Jeff Adams Show and TTB Network. Trust BitGravity. Visit bitgravity.com for more information. The Jeff Adams Show is produced on NewTek's TriCaster 40. Stun your viewers, not your account. Visit newtek.com for more information.
Good grief! Oh my goodness! It is so great to be back. This is not your grandmother's show or your granddad's, but it's. Wait a minute. That's. I think it could be because I'm getting older. It could be your. In fact, my brother is a grandpa, so maybe it is grandpa and grandma's show at this point. But this is the Jeff Adams Show. So glad to be back in the saddle doing this show, and we like to take calls. We like to interview artists and authors. It's all to try to help you understand the meaning of life. We try to laugh. We sometimes are serious, but in the end, we want you to the road of recovery to be happy. That's our number one goal with this show, to make you happy. Because a lot of people like to troll around. They want to be miserable. They want to be, upset. They want to say negative things on social media, but we want you to be happy. End result. And if this show doesn't make you happy, just turn it off. Proverbs 17:22 says, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength. There is hope for dreams in life, but first you must learn to be cheerful. Don't let your heart be ill. Proverbs 13:12 says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. And there's a little song that we used to sing, don't worry, be happy. Doot, 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 doot. We like to take phone calls. You can interact in the chat room at the JeffAdamsShow.tv or go to the TechBuzz.net chat room, and you can chat there live as well. And we're live on the Stitcher app as well. And if you don't want to sit in front of a computer and you got a Roku box, just go to your Roku box and go to the Tech Buzz Network, and we're live there as well. So there you go. If you want to just watch TV, turn us on. Check us out. We also live in West Virginia at WLMN 98.5, and we like to call him Mr. Rogers. What is up, Mr. Rogers neighborhood? And there you go. What is going on with the cameras? All right. So if you want to call in, the number is 347-637-2596. And let's talk. We're going to talk. We got an exciting show. And I want to introduce my co-host, brand new co-host. He did one show with me a month ago probably, is Nate Manners. Did I say it right? Manners.
I'm so excited you said it right. Thank you finally, because, it's going to really benefit you today to get the name right. So,
you're like Casper goes.
Good to be back, Jeff. I'm glad Glad we're back up and running.
Well, let's do this. We might need to check your Skype, and I'll just talk for a minute and try to reconnect with Skype because your connection's bad there. It's really, really blurry on the screen. So just coming in close up with me, Steve, I'll shoot the breeze and let Nate reconnect real quick. So Nate will be back in a minute. So, hey, guys, it's great to be back on the TTB network. Been away for a while, man, since December. And it's just great to be back. Everybody in the chat room, hello. It's good to see old faces in here, new faces. Ronch Fox, big shout out to Ronch Fox. If you hear that sexy, sexy voice early in the show with the reads, the commercial reads, that is the one and only Ronch Fox, the internet legend. He did a couple shows with me. Christmas special I did back in December. So thanks to Ronch Fox for doing those voiceovers. Becca, what's going on? Ron Knights in the chat room. Classic Computers is in the chat room. We've got Eric Cool Dude, Christian in the chat room. GB Byers, FBTV, Gunnar in Sweden, and Buzzhead. Thank you for hanging out in the chat room. And if you want to call in, the number is 347-637-2596. We got Nate Manners back?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Hope so.
I see this sexy mustache.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What drive, what drove you to get that mustache?
What drove me to do that? Probably I wanted to do exactly the opposite of what you got going on right now, which is the helmet holder, the helmet strap.
Well, the funny thing is there's a podcast called the Amish Baby Machine, and they said, hey, you're still on our look. And I just I don't know. I don't like the mustache thing up here because it doesn't grow right. It gets like all nappy.
Oh yeah, and it just holds holds every drink you try and drink out of a cup, and yeah, it's been a learning curve for me because I didn't ever do much with facial hair until the last year or so, and realized I could actually grow it. And it's the only hair I can really grow anymore. So figured I needed a hairstyle.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm going bald. You can't tell, but I mean, I have a crop circle going on top of my head. You obviously have you're losing your hair when I first met you, 20-something plus years ago. You were like 15 years old playing a synthesizer keyboard, and you were already losing your hair.
Yeah, that's when I started losing my hair. It was 15. It was because of the synthesizer, probably.
I want to know, we got your brother Aaron on today. We're going to talk about his book.
Cool.
But my first question when he gets on is I want to ask him about how come he didn't lose his hair and if he has a crop circle. But hey, this set is wonderful, and Nate actually designed the set. There's been a lot of comments on social media, like who did the set? Who did this? How do you do that? And direct all your questions to Nate Manners. He's a real creative guy. Great musician first, but he, with the music industry, how it goes. He had to find something else to do with his life, but look what he did. I mean, he does great art. He does like these awesome concrete, candle holders he's going to make for me for Mother's Day. Remember that? You're supposed to get on that pretty quick.
You're not a mom.
I know. I got to get it for my wife, dude. Help me out.
Oh, that's why you wanted them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll hook you up.
Yeah. Help me out. I appreciate it. But hey, if you on this podcast,
Mother's Day, but whatever.
Mother's Day, gotta have it. But if you love this set, hit Nate Manners up on social media, and he's pretty affordable. He'll charge you about $5,000, $6,000, something like that, and he does take PayPal. So
and I'm making just as much money as I did when I was in music. What happened?
That was weird. That was weird.
Right.
Yeah, Skype weird. All right, it is close to 5:40. We're going to take a first break, and we will have Aaron Manners. Did I say it right? Manners.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
Yeah, when we come back, Jeff Adams Show.
It's a beauteous day, a wondrous day. The flowers bloom and the animals play. The sun peeks out and I need to shout in a happy way. It's a beauteous, wondrous, simply scrumptious day.
It's go time.
It's a beauteous, wondrous, simply scrumptious day. Ha!
Saw all those muscular men running down the street. Muscular. I'm working out. I'm not really working out. All I'm doing is really eating ho-hos. But GoDaddy.com, official sponsor of the Jeff Adams Show. You can actually get .com domains. There you go. I was trying to read the bottom of my monitor there. .com domains at Jeff 295. Go there and get all your internet needs with GoDaddy.com. I mean, it's a great website. I've used it many times. I've got JeffAdamsShow.tv. When I used to do music management, I used to use it for bands all the time. So go to GoDaddy.com, the official sponsor of Jeff Adams Show. Also, if you want to transfer a domain name, you can also use Jeff 20 off, and you can transfer your domain to GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy.com, baby, the official sponsor of the Jeff Adams Show. So, without further ado, sometimes we just got to read on and, pay the bills a little bit. Really, if you use the internet and you build websites like this guy who's coming up next, Aaron, which he has a website, please, use those codes because it helps us to stay on the air. And if we don't, we might have to do our show in the street, and we don't want to do that. So, without further ado, this person is related to my co-host, Nate Manners. They are somewhat, related. So I'll let Nate introduce our guest today.
This guy is almost like a brother to me. We're really tight. Known him for
a lot of years. Almost all our lives.
We met through my parents. And I know none other than my brother Aaron Manners. Glad to sit next to this guy again.
Yeah, I think you probably killed the wrong microphone here. Let's get that straightened out, and we'll bring that up. And I think it's the mustache. I think the mustache is actually doing this. The beauty of doing live TV is you never know what you're going to get. And with this technology stuff, it happens. And we're mobile here. They're at their place in Orlando, and I'm in Lakeland, Florida, out of all places. So, as soon as I get the okay, we'll bring them back in, and hopefully they get their
hear that?
mic straightened out, which would be great.
We should be back up and running.
Is he there? You there, buddy?
I don't know. None other than my brother, Aaron Manners. I just want to move on. Let's go. Aaron Manners, this is my brother.
Aaron.
Your guest next to me.
Yeah, look at it. It's frozen and everything.
This is great. This is great.
All right.
He's got hair. I mean, he's got hair, so that's a positive.
I got it because that's going to turn this mic off when I fix this stream.
Well, we'll get it straightened out. I'll just ramble here.
Give me 3 minutes.
Yeah. Aaron didn't even get to say anything, but Aaron wrote this book called Weeds. Weeds of the Mind. We're going to talk about that today here on the Jeff Adams Show. It's a very interesting book. From what I read, it's very, very interesting. I mean, I don't want to give too much away. Then I won't have anything to talk to him about. But you can actually go to, I think it's Aaron Manners Ministries.com. I believe so. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, Aaron Manners Ministry.com. And you can get your copy of this book today. He's there talking on stage with his book. And, there's his website at AaronMayners.com, ministries.com, excuse me. But yeah, I've known Nate obviously for a long time. Really don't know his brother that well, but I saw him speak a couple times in the past. And so that's how I kind of know this. And he's been making a PR tour of this book. Good book. I think he just finished this up back in December or January, this book. So let's bring in Aaron. Aaron, are you there?
We are back in. Yes.
Technology, baby. I was just bragging about your book here, Weeds
Super
of the Mind. And the funny thing about this book, Aaron, is he's got that Popeye face in the Frozen thing. Arr.
Cute. Good. We are seeing.
Should I do that? Ed Bassmaster face. Skype. So Aaron, tell us about this book. I was in the doctor's office reading this book, and how did you put two and two together with this book? It's very interesting. You obviously talk about in the first couple of chapters how you came up with this book.
Wait.
What?
I don't know if I need to take Nate seriously or not right now.
We got just a major delay. That's the only thing. I'm trying to
Yeah. But let's try to get that fixed.
Figure out which one.
Once again, I'll talk to myself. Hi, folks. I'm Jeff Adams. And welcome to live TV on the interwebs where things happen a lot live on TV.
Come.
Great old Skype,
here.
Internet connections. That's the beauty of doing these shows live. Probably so. I think so. My friend Stephen Haywood talking in my ear. So what's going on in the chat room? Becca, what the heck has been going on? I know Becca's in there. She goes, use Hangouts. We're not using Hangouts. We're crying out loud. No Google Hangouts for us. It's a bandwidth. That's all it is. You can't use that. Is Ron Knight still in the room? Ron Knights? Ronnie? Are you there, Ronnie? Yeah, it's got terrible audio problems here going on. Apologize for this. I really do. You want to come back? You want to come back strong. But hey, at least I got this. Check this out. The weather is going to be wonderful today. Jeff Adams Show. We got a cold front coming in that might take the Jeff Adams Show all the way over to Africa, which might bring tropical rainstorms into the regions of Africa. And so there you go. But you know what? It's so great to be back on the TTV network on so many reasons why. Here's the reasons why. Because, I'm big fans of these shows that they have on the TTV network. And, coming up tonight at 7 p.m. is Throws Unlimited. And this girl's probably more than likely, I think she's going to probably be in the Olympics. So you might want to check that out at 7 p.m. here on the TechBuzz.tv. It's good stuff. And the Tech Buzz show and the weekly roundup, great shows here on the TTV network. Good stuff. And Ron Knights. Ron Knights is actually eating in the chat room. Wonder what Ron's eating.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I think we're just going to go with this camera, man. It's probably the safest thing to do. Look, because here's Aaron.
Here we go.
You can't hear.
You bringing us live?
Just put on speaker on that. All right, we're trying it this way.
All right, we got to do what we got to do. Aaron!
Is that bad?
We got to do what we got to do, right? We got to do what we got to do. We got to do this thing.
We got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do.
I don't have a TBN budget. I swear, Aaron. I swear I am not TBN at all. That's my worst John Travolta ever.
Let's give give some time to this. I apologize. We tried some funny stuff here. Now look what we got to do. Here we are.
It wasn't that funny.
It wasn't.
Overall.
After a while, my face got real hot.
I was just sitting here dying.
It's all good. Look, it's all good.
We're live.
So, anyways, this book, before we get like delayed again, and you get the Ed Bassmaster face going on. This book, Weeds. How did you come up with this book? I mean, obviously, in the first couple chapters, you talk about it, but what the heck, dude? I just imagined you, knowing you were out in your lawn, just sitting there pulling weeds up, and you go, I got an idea for a book. This is brilliant.
A lot of pastors get inspired at really great places, like when they go to a conference or when they're talking with their other pastor buddies or something. This was nowhere near as spiritual as that. This was indeed out while I was pulling weeds one day, and just kind of felt God speak to me in a way. I'm a believer, and I want my thoughts to be right, and every once in a while I periodically need maintenance on how I'm thinking. And so it kind of came up actually as a teaching series first, and then as we progressed into a new season of our life here in Orlando, the time was just right. People had been talking to us for years about writing, and there was just never the right project, or maybe we didn't have the right time. But man, the time happened, the time came, and we put it together. It's a real down-to-earth, simple, easy to understand kind of process in the book. And, I can honestly say we are the only book in the world that's scripture-based about renewing the mind that rightly uses the term manscaping in it. I know I can say that is the only book ever.
You got a little HGTV action going on. Maybe you should do, a pastoral HGTV, type show. You could sit there and do lawn maintenance and quote scriptures. Brilliant. Great church.
Not sure if I'm cut out for that or not, but we'll entertain anything, I guess. So, yeah. So, but that's how it came around, and we're really kind of seeing some great things happen from it, and excited. I am doing some touring right now, and be in Houston this weekend, and Nate. I'll kind of be out and about, or have been out and about, kind of promoting it, and just had a lot of support from some great people around us. We believe in the message of the book, and it's going well. So, yeah, for sure.
Weeds of the mind. Reading this book, I've got a couple of tough questions for you.
Yes.
And, people like to sometimes over spiritualize. I think, I came from a Pentecostal background, so I'm all warped up. So, taking this weed book is helping me to get the Pentecostal out of me. Wait, no, woo. It's helping a lot, but there's certain, I was thinking, you have, here, let me open it up real quick. You have some scriptures here, like lies, that people believe about themselves, that they continue on getting in these cycles of life, like being rejected, guilty, being in bondage. But, going through here, let me ask you a question too. Even with, and here's a deep question with this, is people that deal with addictions, right? And they'll saying, okay, well, weeds of the mind, I get what you're saying. I got to pull them up. But let's use an example here. And you brought this up too in the first chapter, second chapter, is the more you pull weeds up, the more they come back. And how do you deal with that? If someone's struggling with, pornography addiction or alcoholism or a drug addiction, and there's this Jones and the weeds keep coming back, but they let the weeds grow a little bit, and then they want to deal with pulling them. How would you want to conquer that? What would you have to say about that?
Well, first off, we come from the same background that you do as well, and we value a lot that we've learned in our heritage over time, and we come from a heritage where we really believe that Christ is enough for any situation in our life, but it doesn't mean that we instantaneously see perfection or something in our life. might see things recurring, might see things that we're dealing with over and over and over again. But the simple answer that doesn't have a simple manifestation is that Jesus is enough. And I guess over time, and I guess over our turning our lives over to him, we see those things begin working out of us. My story has its own details to it. Nate's story has his own details to it. I don't know yours entirely, but yours has its own details to it. And I'm not trying to make trite the title of addictions. I actually take it very seriously. My addictions in the past have been with pornography. I am now on the board of a sex trafficking rescue agency called the Defender Foundation. Oh, wow. I'll be speaking in Houston Saturday at a large church in Houston about the connection between pornography and the deviancy that comes with those who actually will be a part of trafficking. And that's a whole nother show, my friend.
Yeah.
That stuff's serious. And I hang with guys who go in and get kids out of that stuff.
Wow.
Because there are people who continue to live in lifestyles of addiction. Like I said, whole nother show, a lot of other content. But I really do take that seriously. But the one thing that gives me hope is that Jesus is enough. And that's not an overtly religious statement. That's not a do more religiosity, rules and regulations kind of statement. No, it's as simple that the most complex situation, it applies to the most complex situation, and it applies to the most simple of situations. Jesus is enough. He just really is. And that's my hope in life, man. That's my only hope in life. As a dad, as a husband, as a minister, and just as a brother, just as a guy. Just as a guy. So,
what would you say to someone right now that, we're talking about these weeds that come up, these bad things that take over your lawn in life. What would you say to someone right now that, hey, you're saying, Jesus is enough. Yeah, I get that. But I'm suffocating here with my life. Or for someone that doesn't even really believe,
sure,
in this Jesus that everybody, Christians really grab a hold of and say, hey, Jesus is enough, but just break it down for somebody that's like, hey, man, I get that, but you don't understand where I'm at. You have no idea, man. I'm just flatlined. I'm hit hard. I lost my wife. I lost this. I lost my kid. Jesus is enough. Seriously, I lost my kid. What would you say? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I've experienced a season of my life over the last couple of years that have brought me to some of my lowest lows on several levels. The care for privacy causes me not to tell the details of it all. But my brother knows that we've walked through some pretty gigantic seasons recently. And seasons where we thought we may not be able to recover from them.
Tune in next week.
He'll tell everything then at that point. All the details next week. So we're not, we understand big issues. But it's amazing how in the big issues, you've got to find somewhere to have some hope. And in those moments, I was not enough hope for myself in the difficulty we were in. I was not enough hope for my wife in the difficulty that we were in. I wasn't enough hope for my kids. And you're a dad, Nate's a dad. That's quite a mark of manhood, is to be able to have answers for your kids.
Right.
It's quite a benchmark of what we want to accomplish as men. It's part of how we're wired by God, is to supply and to provide and to hunter gatherer go. And when you can't do that for your kid and you go, I got nothing more here. I've got no, I've used up all my resources as a man. it's in times like that, and I've been a believer. I've been the Christian that you're talking about for 35 years. Like I said, we grew up in it like you did. And right. It seems like we would be doing that stuff at the front side of our understanding of Christ, because that's when all bad things happen. And as you're a Christian, you become a better person, and life goes better. And sometimes that is not the way it happens. Right. I found some of that stuff. I flatlined last year. It wasn't a public thing, was it? But I had to find that same authenticity and even reality in hope in Jesus. And so that's where the faith side of it comes in. And this is ultimately to answer your question about how would someone think, okay, that's great, but I'm flatlining. There's got to be a step of faith in, okay, since I can't do this on my own, I'll give this a shot, Jesus. I'll give you a go, Jesus. I'll give you a part in my life, maybe. And they may not know the most hip church in town to go to. They may not know they may go to some tiny little this place down on the corner because it's the only church they pass on the way to work. Jesus is still real everywhere. And he can make himself known to people. And that's why even Christian television, people watching at 2 a.m. in their PJs get saved. And, just the people most
with pink hair, gotta love the pink hair. People getting saved with pink hair. But we talk about hope.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
We talk about hope. That was interesting.
I had nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But thank you for using that.
Was that a call-in?
Yeah, it was a call-in.
Okay, good.
Since it doesn't really matter now because I had the phone lines up and no one was actually calling in. So, hey, there you go. Really don't need that anymore. Yeah, well, but we're gonna dive into this a little bit more. I've got some, hopefully we can get a little light here and joke around a little bit, but I got...
Ask me the question about Nate's mermaids in the last chapter. We'll talk about that after the break.
Ask me.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back on the Jeff Adams Show.
It's tough when no one's hiring. I mean, Bigfoot shows are just non-existent on TV anymore. I need work. This is some of my highlight reel best moments of me playing Bigfoot. So if you have a movie or you're, need a Bigfoot, I'm your guy. This was one of my serious roles where I played Bigfoot, and it's called The Stop and Stare. It takes a lot of talent to pull this off, a lot. Classic walk and stare at the camera, a lot of talent. This was only one take. It did not retake anything. Total pro. When you hire me, I can do this in one take, easy. And this is my classic run with the football, bounce the head up one time. Very hard to do, but like I said, I'm the pro to get the job done.
This is John, audiobook fanatic. John's new obsession is listening to Billy Crystal's Still Foolin' Him. John has taken his obsession just one step too far.
Your brothers took hours to arrive, not you. 30 minutes tops. Around my 8th month, you started kicking a lot.
Early the next morning, my assistant Carol Sidlow, an unflappable showbiz veteran, called me at home, sounding uncharacteristically, "Here's Johnny." She said breathlessly. Johnny, how great I thought you were. Total command, and Alex said, call him and tell him yourself. So, you know how angry kids will sometimes say, I didn't ask to be born? Well, I'm getting another chance to do what I've always loved to do. Make people laugh. One last peek in the mirror. Still fooling him, I say.
The Jeff Adams Show is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/The Jeff Adams Show.
Man, you realize how rusty you are when you come back from being gone for a long time. And, you know, when you're rusty and you have technical problems, even worse. When you have a high-profile guest like Aaron Maynard. That's how I'm going to say the Maynard. Maynard.
Whatever works for you, Jeff. Whatever.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you know, and coming, like you said, it's good to have you back. You know, I know rehab was needed, so it's good that you're back.
Rehab from what?
You're a better person now.
Rehab from what? Weeds in the mind?
Rehab. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I want to get funny here towards the end. I don't want to get all doom and gloom here, but you know, we're talking about weeds in the mind.
Doom and gloom, Jeff.
It's weeds in the mind.
It's about life change.
You know, it's funny because I got a lot of friends in Denver, and I was up there doing this right when the whole law came through in January, and everybody wanted me to make sure that it was not a book about weed itself. So we made sure we were very clear to all those friends there in Colorado. So,
dude, weeds in the mind, man. It's a good read, man. Read mind, reads.
It looks like you're blocking out something, like there's nudity on the back cover or something because of your green screen.
Here?
No, on the back of the book.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you look like you have a green screen on there.
Yeah, he was that year ago. He's talking about something happened. This is when it happened.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All right. We're going to get joking around a little bit here towards the end because you guys are humorous folk. But the weeds in the mind, really, I got to tell you, I still don't understand how you put two and two together when you came up with this. But it was brilliant because we have a garden that we grow our own vegetables. And I think probably my wife, I shouldn't say I pick them. My wife picks the weeds. And I just eat the vegetables, whatever she cooks. But no, she it's just a constant battle with the weeds. And being in life and, being a believer myself, sometimes I struggle with things. You're doing so well, but this world has so many troubles and tribulations that just hit you hard. And you can say, hey, my hope's in Jesus, my hope's in Jesus, my hope's in Jesus. But sometimes it gets hard. For someone that's really struggling, pulling these weeds up daily, as they come in daily, what would you say? I mean, something that's really worked in a lot of my life too is having people around me in my life for accountability. Someone like, man, these weeds are coming at me pretty hard, and I can't pick them all. What would you say to someone that's really just battling, that has their hope in Jesus, but it just feels like the world's just caving in on them?
Well, with every spiritual principle, there are practical applications in life, and I think what you're after are some things where somebody can say, okay, I'm going to adjust this in my life, and there's a responsibility we have too. We have to stay away from some certain things that might end up being temptations. There are certain business establishments that I should not go anywhere near,
right,
because it doesn't help where I've had challenges in the past, it doesn't help me keep that clear and clean. Accountability with our spouses, accountability with our healthy friends. You know, don't go hang out with the folks who've all been divorced. If you're having marriage problems, go talk with people who have healthy marriages, and have that kind of input into your life as well. Man, having your mind filled with right things rather than wrong things is for sure a common sense way to go. Remember when we were youth pastors years back, you know, these 15 and 16-year-old teenage, you know, girls would come up to the altar and say, I'm having, you know, fear issues. You can't sleep at night. And I think I'm seeing things in my closet. You know, they were sincere and they meant it. But then come to find out a couple of months later, you know, these are kids who are addicted to horror films and slasher films in the sense of, you know, that's what they watch and fill their mind with. Well, you know, stay away from the stuff maybe that kind of, so I know what I've got to stay away from personally. And it helps to have those kinds of things in place as some of the practical side of staying free and keeping things healthy and right. And then fertilizing the right way too, right? If you've got a garden, you're fertilizing. And you got to put the right stuff in to help the right stuff grow too.
But I mean, here's one that makes you go, I mean, when you fertilize, you use poop.
Yeah.
And poop's normally bad, so how does that help?
Well, I heard a minister one time talking about how, you know, you always hear the parable about seeds and, you know, how seed needs to grow. Well, a seed cannot grow unless it grows up through dirt, muck, you know, fertilizer. It has to grow up through all of that, you know, to be a nourishing plant or a nourishing tree or flower. So, I mean, the illustration of that is, I mean, in order to get past certain things, I'm sure, you know, that's what life lessons are about, is learning to kind of survive through the fertilizer, the poop, if you will.
Yeah, but we're the only ones that make that a negative thing. Dirt is not a negative thing in the world of agriculture. You know, that's a necessary part. So every illustration breaks down at some place. And so, you know, we've got to, you know, be sure that we can't say a seed needs to live in the midst of junk. That's not accurate, because that's not true in any part of life. A car can't operate without the right parts and healthy parts. A body can't operate without the right things in it. So there is that element where we've got to continue to put the right things into our lives, for sure. Even our friend the cow that's here behind Nate.
After you're off, he's it threw him off so bad they froze. You're like,
bandwidth.
All right. So, hey, let me ask you this, Aaron, on serious topics. You know, make sure you go to Aaron Manners Ministry.com and check out all the good things.
Manor too. Make sure we spell that. Is that MANERS? There it is.
Dadgummit, I corrected it on YouTube. I did. The social post didn't go out, but you can check out his book there. Go check out his speaking engagements. You can actually book him for speaking engagements. And you actually have, you know, when you sent me this book, I guess you have a new book coming out. It's called Crazy Seasons. When's that come out?
A goal to have that come out in January 1st. And we've got several people collaborating on it already. And as I emerge out of the summer, we will start that project as our second project. So we're excited about it.
Cool news about that book is the audio book the voicing for the audio book on that will be done by Stephen Hawkings. It's going to be really good.
Nice.
Because we couldn't get Sam Jackson.
You mean
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson was not available.
We couldn't get him. So
Aaron knows people.
Yeah, you should do Weeds of the Mind, audible.com type of scenario.
Yeah.
Who would you have voice this if you did an audible.com voiceover for Weeds? Like
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried was the first top list.
Weeds
weeds of the mind. Let me tell you something about weeds of the mind. I was out in my garden pulling weeds. Then all of a sudden, I realized something.
It flows.
I fell down on the ground. This guy came up to me and said, you have weeds. Let me deal with your weeds.
Yes. See, it works. It works.
It'd be funny. It would be more captivating that way. No, it's not.
No.
I mean, I enjoy it.
Let's try it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Chapter 6. Winning over our will.
Was an option.
Aaron Neville was another one. He was going to sing it.
Did you hear Gilbert Gottfried quoting scriptures?
Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well.
Awesome. Yeah.
Have you ever been to a grocery store of a crowded mall and seen a child throw a tantrum? I have. All the time when I worked on Saturday Night Live. I got kicked out.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's the perfect person to do Weeds of the Mind.
Yep. Yeah. Or maybe we can just have you do it as Gilbert Gottfried. Weeds of the Mind, read by Jeff Adams as Gilbert Gottfried.
As Gilbert Gottfried.
As Gilbert Gottfried. Or you should, I think, this book's serious, so you need someone serious. I think Gilbert might throw it off a little bit. I think you might, before he dies, get Casey Kasem to do it.
Oh, I think he did die.
Let's try Casey Kasem out real quick. Give me another chapter here.
These are all the voices Jeff knows how to do.
Take one.
I'm Aaron Manners. Strategy. One day, I was on my knees pulling up crabgrass when a guy walked up to me and said, Casey. He was a big sweaty guy with the pants of his coveralls tucked into his knee-high boots. His crew cut it loud. Or you could go with Shaggy. Go with Shaggy?
Who's Shaggy?
Casey Kasem played
Shaggy or Shaggy the singer?
Yeah, Shaggy Scooby-Doo. Casey Kasem did a lot of cartoon voices.
It's true.
Silent.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Like, gee, Scoob, the silent invasion. You wake up, put your bathrobe, broom, a pot, a coffee, and walk out your front door. Gee, Scoob, to get the newspaper. It's like Zoinks, as you let out a big yawn and enjoy the satisfying stretch of the Scoobs. The safety of your porch, you get that feeling of a Scooby snack that you're being watched. It's creepy, like double Zoinks. I think
you may have read too much.
I think I did.
I think you should have stopped one paragraph earlier.
Do you know about anybody else?
Should I do anybody? I don't know if I can do anybody else. Wait, all right. Here, how about Sean Connery? Let's see. Right, let's try this. Get in the mode. Sean Connery.
Oh boy.
Weeds of the Mind is one of those books that help the reader see the important spiritual truth in a very real, practical way.
You sound like a demon.
I know. This is a bad Sean Connery. I haven't heard Sean Connery in years, so I have to hear the voices to stay current.
Yeah,
right.
Let me tell you something. The Weeds of the Mind is a very, very good book. Bond, James Bond.
Your poor audience.
Yeah, I know. That's a horrible Sean Connery.
Well, let's not bill that you do impressions on this show anymore.
I just did them all. My show's canceled.
I think you used them all up. I mean, there goes 5 episodes. We could have done one in each in an episode of a different, and you used them all up. I guess we can't do that anymore.
Weeds of the Mind, dude. Got to clear the mind. Is that what it's about? No, it's not about that. You need to go read the book. You need to read the book. That's what you need to do. Sean Connery, over and out.
They get it all the major outlets and Aaron Manners Ministries plural.com.
Let me tell you something. You guys are brothers, right? When things are failing, you go with Gilbert Gottfried. You go to Aaron Manners Ministry.com. You go buy the new book, Weeds, and you go get it now. You might say, this is crazy, Gilbert. Go get the book. It's fantastic.
You make me sweat when you do that.
I'm making you sweat because it's so uncomfortable?
No, not that
even a word. Uncomfortable.
It's just long.
What's that?
It's just longer.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So you guys are brothers, obviously. You guys probably had some pretty crazy stories growing up. You know, what's some of the wild and wacky stories of you guys growing up together?
All right. One time, Aaron and I were in Longwood.
Man, I have no clue what's coming.
He has no clue, but it's not horrible.
Okay.
This is crazy scary for me. We were with a bunch of his friends.
Where's
we were at this little.
You're talking about Longwood. Where's Longwood at?
It's right here in Orlando area.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Thought you were getting. I thought you were talking about something else.
I'm trying to fill time so you don't do any more of that. Literally. All right. You want crazy stories? We're done with Gilbert Gottfried.
He's got a crazy story.
So, Aaron and I and a bunch of his friends were on this little like riverbank thing, and there was a tree with a swing on it. And Aaron decides to get on this swing and swing out over the river, and then, you know, you're supposed to fall into the river. Well, you go out real close to this big oak tree, and so you take off from the oak tree, swing down, and then, of course, the rope's going to come back to the oak tree. Do you remember this now? Aaron's got narcolepsy, so so he swung down. I'm probably 10 years old watching this happen. He swings down, doesn't let go of the rope, and comes back up and just smacks this tree and falls into the water, like passed out, like crazy. I guess he hit the water and it woke him up, but it was that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was intense. I woke up at the bottom of that little pool of water, and I see Nate and all of my friends diving in the water.
It was scary.
To pull me out. It is what woke me up, yeah.
That was in Longwood.
And weeds of the mind.
Yeah. And then, Aaron, do you have
a crazy story that doesn't involve any kind of jail or any kind of nothing like that? Then, no,
we don't have any stories like that.
No,
why?
One of the stories, one of the funny stories that's in the book is when Nate was real young. Our parents took us to that mermaid themed theme park called Weeki Wachee over. You know that place? You know that?
Yeah.
And Nate was really young, and at the entrance of the place, they have these life-size statues of mermaids. Now, for those of you who understand aquatic mythology, mermaids are shirtless, topless. They have they're clothed from the waist down, but not the waist up.
Are they clothed, or is that? I mean,
they're gilled.
They're gilled.
They're covered, and
right.
but this was the first time Nate had carnal knowledge now of a female's upper part of her torso.
Non-gilled
portions. And so one of the funniest things, Nate in all of his innocence just kind of starts rolling laughing and was yelling out, "Booters, booters."
We called them booters when we were young.
That's what Nate called them. And
my dad called them booters.
So that was last week when we all went, and he did that. So
booters.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
So,
Booters.
Yeah.
Booters. Let's do a knockoff of Hooters. Do Booters. Booters! Where the Christians go.
Mermaids serving wings, flipping around. So, yes.
That'd be weird.
A seafood themed restaurant, Booters. Oh, my goodness. I got to tell you, I probably ruined the show with all my bad imitations. But Aaron,
you ruined the fact that people won't watch again. That's what you ruined.
We got the new Merry Monk of Love.
You want me to do Merry Monk of Love?
Can I do the Merry Monk of Love?
I haven't listened to Eric's voice enough to be able to imitate him on Merry Monk of Love side of things.
Yeah, I can't do it either.
I have to give him a call and hang out with him more, and then I'll come back and do that.
Yeah. So, all right, before we go, Aaron, on your website, obviously, we're plugging your website. Where can people see you speak in the next couple of weeks here?
Wow. Heading to Houston this weekend, and I think I go to Jacksonville, back here to Orlando, and then back to Jacksonville for what May is. And That's all I really kind of have in my brain right now. But I think we post a lot of that on our various pages of Facebook, Twitter. We're on the social medias, and we post that stuff for folks to be able to, if they're in the area, to join us. It'd be great. It'd be great.
And I have to apologize to you, Aaron. I had no idea. You know, there was no anything in the green room. I arranged a bouquet of flowers for you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you know, it's interesting when I walked in and I realized, you know, Nate was my host. I'm like, you know, I was just here for Christmas already. You know, I hang here all the time. So this was easy. I had to mow his lawn earlier, so I just came in and did this.
Sure.
So,
did you pull any weeds?
Offered him something to drink, and then his daughter, who's in the other room, drank the last Coke, and so he really hasn't had anything.
Yeah, not really well taken care of. So, you know, but it's all right.
They will have a TBN type budget. I can have gold. You know, Nate can just gold plaster the set. You know, and I can.
It's different, isn't it? Yeah.
Do my pink hair or something, and put your hands on the the webcam right now. Right now.
Yes. So it's true.
You know what? You have such a soft face.
It is a soft face.
Look at that. Yeah. You're so clean shaved.
It is.
You're so clean shaved. That's awful. And this right here, the mustache. Oh man, that is so lifelike.
You're like a weatherman.
Yeah, we have a cold front pushing back this way, but it normally comes this way. So it was nice having you. I'm sorry that we ran into some problems, you know, and probably the big problem was me. But you know, things happen. But, you know, like I said, go to AaronMannersMinistries.com and go get this book. It will help you. And talk to him. Go on social media. Talk to him. He'll talk to you back. He likes to do that. I see him post all the time, and he likes to do selfies in front of the mirror and quote scriptures and stuff. So there you go. Until next week, I want to thank Nate, Aaron, for hanging out. Make sure you go check out this book. It's a very, very good read. If you don't, you're going to have some serious reads in your lawn. Until next time, Jeff Adams Show.tv on the Tech Buzz Network. Peace out.